Today, we are diving into one of the ancient world's most incredible and, honestly, most mysterious societies, the Harappan civilization. You might also know it as the Indus Valley Civilization. So, let's jump right in and see what the evidence actually tells us about their world. First, let's just try to get a sense of scale, because the sheer size of this civilization is, well, it's staggering. At its absolute peak, we're talking about a territory covering somewhere around 800,000 square kilometers. Now, to put that number into perspective for you, that is about 12 times larger than ancient Egypt and Mesopotamia combined. This made it by far the largest civilization of the ancient world, and it's not even close. So, of course, this brings up a huge question that archaeologists are still trying to figure out. How on earth did they maintain a single unified culture over such a massive area? The answer, it seems, lies in this one really powerful concept that we see over and over again in what they left behind. Okay, so let's get into this. The one thing that really defines the Harappan civilization, especially during its peak, what we call the mature Harappan phase, was this absolutely unprecedented level of standardization across that entire vast area. It's almost as if this whole enormous society was built from the exact same set of blueprints. I mean, from the mountains of Balochistan all the way to the plains of Punjab and the coasts of Gujarat, the evidence just screams cultural uniformity. And this uniformity, it popped up in almost every part of their lives. Just think about it for a second. A single, standardized system of weights and measures for trade, the same iconic symbols on thousands of seals, pottery styles you could recognize anywhere, and maybe most impressive of all, the very layout of their cities followed a common plan. And this is the perfect example. It's brilliant. Whether you were in a city in Sindh, Punjab, or Gujarat, the buildings were put together with baked bricks made to this exact 1:2:4 ratio. That one simple fact, it just speaks volumes about their level of organization and how connected they all were. So let's go see how this incredible blueprint actually looked on the ground. We're going to take a little tour of their magnificent cities, the real beating hearts of this civilization. Our first stop is Mohenjo-Daro in modern-day Sindh. This was a sprawling city, over 200 hectares, and it was meticulously planned out. It had that typical layout, a fortified western mound, or citadel, and then a much larger lower town to the east. The public services here were, well, they were truly ahead of their time. The whole city had a sophisticated drainage system, something like 700 wells for water. And get this, most houses had their own private toilets that were connected to the main drains. Archaeologists even think that the super thick walls suggest a lot of these homes were 2 stories high. And right there on the citadel stood the famous Great Bath, a total feat of engineering. Just try to picture this massive public pool, built with perfectly laid bricks and made completely waterproof using gypsum mortar and even a layer of natural tar. We're still not 100% sure what it was for, maybe ritual bathing, but its sheer scale is just undeniable. Okay, now we're going to travel north to Harappa in Punjab. This was actually the very first site they ever discovered. And here we find some amazing evidence of the civilization's organizational power, especially when it came to their resources. Here, archaeologists uncovered what they call the Great Granary, a massive building for storing grain. And its design was just ingenious. It had these air ducts built in for circulation to keep the grain from spoiling. What's wild is that it's a technique remarkably similar to Roman granaries built centuries and centuries later. All right, next we're visiting the really unique city of Dholavira in Gujarat. This place was built on an island in the middle of the arid Rann of Kutch, so its people had to become absolute masters of surviving and even thriving in a pretty harsh environment. Dholavira kind of broke the mold. They used beautifully dressed local sandstone, not just brick. Their city plan was unique too, with 3 different parts. But the real genius of this place was its incredible water conservation system. We're talking 16 massive reservoirs, all designed to capture every single drop of monsoon rain. But that's not the only thing that makes Dholavira so special. There was this mysterious and now very famous discovery made right near one of its main gates. Archaeologists found what looks for all the world like a large signboard. It was made of 10 big symbols crafted from white gypsum paste, which would have been set into a wooden board that's long since rotted away. This is one of the longest Indus inscriptions ever found, just another tantalizing clue from a script that we still can't read. For our final stop, we're heading down to the coast of Gujarat, to the port city of Lothal. This place was a crucial hub, connecting the entire Harappan civilization to the wider world through maritime trade. The discovery of a warehouse here really leaves no doubt about its role in commerce. Inside, excavators found 65 terracotta ceilings, the little clay tags they used to stamp goods for shipping. And you could still see the impressions of the packing materials on them, things like reeds and woven cloth. And all of this is pretty much confirmed by the huge brick-built basin right next to the city. It's been identified as a dockyard, complete with channels to control the water level. This is where ships would have come in to load and unload, making it a critical gateway for their entire trade network. So, all of this, these giant cities, the standardized everything, the long-distance trade, it begs the question, right? What kind of economy was powering it all? Well, the answer seems to be a highly organized and really sophisticated system of production. The evidence suggests a kind of three-step economic evolution. It started with intensification, basically just making more food and more crafts. That led to diversification, as they started creating a wider variety of goods. And once you have that abundance and variety, people could finally specialize, becoming full-time farmers or dedicated bead makers or skilled metallurgists. And their agriculture, in particular, was super advanced and very risk-averse. They grew both winter crops like wheat and barley and summer crops like millets and rice. Growing different things in different seasons was a really smart strategy to make sure they had a stable food supply all year round. But for all that we know about their impressive cities and their organized economy and their vast reach, the Harrappans left us with one profound and, frankly, haunting mystery. We have found over 4,000 inscriptions in their unique script. They're etched onto seals, on pottery, and even on that big signboard from Dolavira. And here's the thing. We still have absolutely no idea what any of it means. The language, the messages, the names, the stories, all of it is completely silent to us. So this leaves us with this final massive question that gets right to the heart of this incredible civilization. How did they achieve this unbelievable unity across 800,000 square kilometers, seemingly without the giant palaces or royal tombs we see in places like Egypt or Mesopotamia? And what secrets are locked away in their silent, beautiful script?